So, at the beginning, I think their plan was to do a character introduction, so that's how I'm going to start. Of course, we gotta start with the main character. We all auto everything. Cranberry apple is actually pretty good. Alright. Okay. Ragna the Blood Edge. He's the most straightforward character. Am I sound good? Does my sound good? Am I sound good? Check, check. Alright, I'm just gonna go anyway. Ragna is really straightforward, but he has all the tools, but he's also like lacking a little bit. The thing about the game's balance, I'm gonna say right now, everyone is good. Don't worry about your choice, everyone is good. It's just that some characters have more than others. It's kind of like P4's balance. So Ragna is actually really basic and simple. He has like really straightforward moves. He got this big sword move, this big sword move. It's really, really basic and easy to use. He has a DP like you'd expect. He's very straightforward, mid-range character. He's a decent character to learn the game with. Anti-air, all the basic stuff. The only thing he doesn't have is a fireball. Like he has a... Oh, they changed Death Spike as well. So this is his new move. But his projectile is that it's not really a projectile. It's better than it was as a projectile. But he's really basic and straightforward. His combos are pretty easy. His overdrive is just combo filler. He's just for anyone who just wants to kind of get a taste of Blaze Blue. I can't really say much about him because he's not complicated really. His mix-ups are straightforward. Overheads, lows, whiff lows. The fact that this comboed was really funny. Oh, I want to do it again. His drive is also very simple. Every character in the game has weak attack, medium attack, strong attack, and drive. And his drive absorbs life. So he has slightly lower than average health, but he makes up for it by gaining life in his combos. Bloodcan, he gains a lot more life. I mean, I'd say he's straightforward. He's very straightforward. Let's look at Jin. Jin is just solid. Solid character. He also is kind of has everything. And he has one of the defining features of BB. This 2A anti-air. If it still works as an anti-air. He originated 2A anti-air. He has good movement. He actually has a projectile. Ice swords that he can shoot from full screen. There's the famous ice car, which they changed the fucking input for. So I'm not happy. There it is. He literally has everything. Literally has. He's very solid, but he doesn't really excel in anything. So usually when Jin is good, like this version, is usually how good he plays neutral. Basically how good his solidness is. Like how important it is. So in the last version, the game was kind of balanced around zoners, and he lost a bunch of tools. So he wasn't faring so well. But this time, he gained a bunch of new tools. He does more damage. His OD, while combo filler, is actually really good. I don't know what the combo is, but he can do cool stuff with it. Cool, cool. These two are both just good beginner picks. They both have pretty much everything a basic fighting game character has. Jin's drive is nothing special. He freezes you. So he gets... It's just... It's nothing like... Let's say crazy. It's nothing crazy. It's just like an attack that freezes. And helps you extend combos, extend pressure. Blah blah blah. I definitely recommend beginners to pick Jin. Ragnar is fine too. He's basic. But if you want to be in it for the long run, go for Jin. Jin is good. Jin is solid. I'm gonna switch. Let's do Noel. Let's do Noel and see Makoto. I actually don't know why I was on lessons, but whatever. I actually wanted auto. Okay. So, actually, I think, let me just, I guess I can't do it from this menu. Okay. So Noel, if you play a lot of BlazBlue, you'll see a lot of people have a lot of hate for Noel. Noel's a pretty good beginner character. She's fast. She has good aerials. Her mix-up is alright. It's what it needs to be. She has an overhead, and she has her drive mix-ups. Her drive is a very key part of her gameplay now. It really helps her convert random hits, because I can't really do it. I'll try. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, so you can convert random stuff into a ground combo, which is really good for her, because she was really lacking that before. In earlier versions, if you got them in the air, you couldn't really do much. You just kind of did an air combo. So she's kind of a close range fighter. She also has projectiles like Jin and Ragnar. Well, more like Jin. They changed the input. So they're finally, previous versions, Noel players would tell you that her projectiles suck. This time it's pretty quick. It doesn't knock down. These used to knock down, which was awesome for her. But they don't anymore. They're just annoying and do a little chunk health. She's extremely quick on the ground. Pretty good air speed. Good ground to air. I mean air to ground. Just jumping. Good anti-air. Good buttons. This button, 2C, will get you some mileage against people who aren't good at the game, because it's +3 on block. But the reason why, if you pick Noel, your mileage is going to come from her drive, V button. This is where she gets her mix-ups. This is how you get out of pressure. It's everything. So the button you're going to hit that's going to make people mad at you if you decide to play Noel is this 4D. It has some invul. If BBCP is your first version of the game, you missed the good old days, but it's okay. This is still pretty good to use. Her mix-ups come from D also, so she has a very fast overhead. Drive 6B is instant overhead speed. It's very quick. But she also has this low, which has the same startup. So I'm doing Drive 6D. And then here's Drive 6B. Oops. So same startup. So this is where a lot of her mix-up comes from in Drive. You have an overhead and a low. She's simple. She's simple, effective, not too complicated. She's a good beginner character too, but she's more, because all the characters kind of rely on momentum, but momentum's very important for her. And you have to keep in mind that the drives aren't necessarily safe, so you can't go crazy against someone who knows how to deal with the drives. Makoto, I think Noel, people consider Noel to be like okay. In the grand scheme of things, she's okay. Makoto, this character, if you decide to play Makoto, it's not a bad idea. She's solid too. She's like Ragna. Like, I shouldn't say she's like Ragna. She's like a lesser Jin kind of. Like, she's solid, but she doesn't excel. And her mid-screen, she has the same problem as she had in Extend. It's like the mid-screen. Her mid-screen conversion is not that good. But that being said, one of the top players in Japan plays Makoto, so it's not impossible to win Makoto. She has absolutely everything that you do need. You just have to put in work. You have to put in work. You have his parry. So this move loses to lows, but you can use it. It has so many uses. You can use the option select for P's. You can use it out of pressure. You can use it as an anti-air. The only thing is there's a little bit of a cooldown on it, so you can't really mash on it. You can use it once, and then there's a little bit of secret recovery. She has good anti-air, same as Noelle. Good anti-air, good air buttons. This is great. Her mix-up, her pressure is straightforward, but it's good. This overhead is like one of your most important moves to learn how to combo off of in the corner. I haven't played this in CS2. I used to play it in CS2. That was very fun. Most BB players have bad memories of her from CS2, but it was because she could steal games. Like, she was an honest character, but at the same time, you got hit by that 2C, you were done. But once you knock them down in the corner, you can play her game. This is how you set up Focus on it. This little ball, you can stand behind it, you can do high-lows. Her pressure is really good, and she has good, her range is kind of like here. She has decent buttons, but you have to get in, and you have to get in safely. So Makoto's good. She just takes some effort to play. Also, Goro is going to be your god if you play Makoto.
Please select your character.
Let's see. Since we're here,
New quest.
I'm just gonna go straight across, I guess. Just gonna go straight across. Don't worry, I'll look at every single character. And then if you want questions, just use the hashtag. Okay. So this is new 12. So we just looked at Noelle. So this, in story mode, this is like Noelle's blah 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 something. She's a robot. So this character actually is one of my admittedly most hated characters. I don't like this character. That being said, she's a very good character. So this character has always been kind of like an outright flowchart character. Like, you play really according to plan, but what they do, Arxis does, is they keep shifting what her plan revolves around. So this last time it was more around set play. In Extend it was more around set play. This time it's more around her neutral game. Her neutral game is quite good and kind of does the work for you. You can try to get in using these lasers, and then you can run in and try to do mix-ups. Or you can just choose to run away. She's also extremely fast and has, like, this is quick. She's much quicker than any character we've looked at so far. And she has a standard, good anti-air, pretty good overhead, really good neutral buttons. This is her standing C, and her standing forward C, 6C. Good anti-air. And the nice thing about this anti-air is that it's an auto. It automatically confirms for you, like it's a mindless. If he was in the air, let's put him in the air. Oops. Oh. And then from there, like this, and then you would do some stuff. I don't know the actual combo, but it's very, very easy to hit confirm and move. And it doesn't matter. You just do, like, the characters, once you get used to her, she's very straightforward. She also, they decided to give her a DP for one reason or another. And it's not a normal DP, it's a guard point DP. So it's actually much, much harder to bait her DP than other characters. Actually, it doesn't look the same. Let's just check. Oh, it's not guard point. Okay, that's a little nice. It's still, well, just be aware that she has that DP. For overdrive, I believe... I actually don't know what her overdrive does. What does her overdrive do? Let's take a look real quick. I want to be thorough. I guess it just has to do with the lasers. The lasers just keep shooting, so I'm gonna say it has stuff to do with the lasers. Let me just look real quick. Minute 12. Yep, the Steins, it'll just keep shooting. So not bad. So Relius, we're gonna look at Relius. So Relius, for people who know Guilty Gear, Relius is like Carl. Let's see. Relius is, not like Carl, excuse me, he's like Eddie. He's like Eddie. So people who like, I guess, have been following the game would know about Carl. So Carl has a puppet. Relius has a puppet too, but his puppet works more like a shadow rather than a puppet that you can summon on will and make her do moves. And it follows you rather than, it mostly follows you. There are ways to make her stay in place that I don't know because I don't play Relius. His pressure is very good. He's not so much a mix-up character as in knocking you down and doing mix-up as getting you to block. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's the kind of stuff they like to do. He moves pretty quick, which is actually can make things difficult, like make fighting him difficult. And if you don't know how to handle certain moves that the doll does, and I don't know the inputs for some of these, but I know what they look like. Like that move, or what is that? Oops. If you don't know how to deal with some of these moves, then he'll seem like really, really strong. He's actually a pretty good character. He's one of the stronger characters in the game. Oh, good thing to know about him is that if you hit the doll, you hit him, actually hit him and not catch him blocking. Well, actually, we can check. If you hit the doll though, the doll is gone. So it's because she kind of moves in a set way, you could kind of play in certain zones and then kind of fight him off. But you still have to deal with him running around. And he has very good aerials, really, really good aerials. This jump A, this is jumping A, it's probably one of the best jumpings because it beats a lot. Like, you can anti-air it, but some characters who might not have a standard anti-air have a lot of problems against this move. His overdrive is, I actually don't know, too. This is actually good, because I'm learning about overdrives that aren't dice running. It increases Ignis gauge recovery and changes the properties of some moves on hit. The only move that changes normally is Volanto, which I think is Swivel A. Yeah, so that apparently is faster and has more range. But besides that, from what I understand, it's just mostly combo filler, and like that's it. He's a good pick though. He's a little harder to. Oh, 214C's faster. Okay. It says it only has wall stick. It adds wall stick, but I'll take your word for it. You know what I'm saying? He's a little harder to pick up than a normal character, than any of the other characters we covered thus far, but he's good. He's good. He's a good pick. Moon's a good pick too. Moon and Relius are both above average characters.
Please select your character.
I might as well pick my Hazama color now, so I'm gonna play him.
Hazama.
Ooh, my 2 alts.
Haokata.
My 2 alts, Hazama and Tao. These are the characters I play on the side, even though I haven't touched them yet in this version. So Hazama, okay. Hazama, I'd say, was the original fastest character in the game. In the air. He on the ground, he's actually not very mobile. Like, his ground dash, this is a ground dash, you can't run, this is a back dash. But he has, you can't see it, but he has this kind of circle around him where you can't hit a button if he's in a neutral state, because he has something to beat you. So he's an on kind of like zoner fusion. Like, he's very rushdown heavy, but it's not in the sense of catching and blocking and going in. It's more of you're in neutral, but you feel like you can't do anything because how he can move. So his drive is this. It's a chain. It's called Ouroboros. He can angle it in a bunch of directions. Same in the air. And he has follow-ups for each one. He has one, A makes it short. You can make it as short as you want. B makes him move in a parabola around the point where the tip of the Ouroboros is. So if I do it here, I'll move around here. If I stick it out here, I'll move around there. C makes you go behind, like, I shouldn't say behind, right in front where the tip is. And then D just flings you along. So at a basic level, he's kind of annoying. He's flying around the screen and stuff. Once you get used to his movement, because his initial movement is kind of basic, but his advanced movement, they can get kind of nutty. They can get kind of crazy. So at the bottom here, right here, this is his Ouroboros gauge. So that's how much movement he has available, how many times he can use his follow-ups. So the way this works is, if it's like, oh, he gets, I think he, oh, let me set it to guard real quick, so I'm not, okay, it's like extend. So, the way that this works is you get 2 follow-ups, B, C, or D follow-ups. When you use one, it goes down. When you use the second one, it goes to 0. So the way you get those back is by waiting. It takes a while. Hitting them will give you 2. Catching them blocking will give you 1. So a good Hazama player would be able to keep on touching you somehow, and either move around or just move around the screen or try to like annoy you somehow. The thing, his overdrive, sorry, causes, I think it's like arcade mode, right? When you're in this range, you get poisoned, and it's something about hitstun on the Ouroboros, I think. Let's be 100% sure. Overdrive. The chains do double damage. He steals life. But it doesn't steal life while you're getting comboed, so that's fine. So basically, like, if you want to pick Hazama, he's not too difficult for a beginner. His combos are not hard, and they're rather straightforward. Like, he combos into the same thing. But the mark of advancing with him is how good you are at moving with him. It's very important. Alright, now Tao has been, since CS1, very, very good all the time. She's also very, very quick. She's quick in the ground. She has 2 air dashes. And she has her drive, which any old BlazBlue player will tell you is a nightmare to deal with. That's her drive. That's her debuff. She can move all sorts of unusual ways. They might have changed her limits a little bit. It seems like they changed a little bit. They changed. She, believe it or not, she used to move around, have more freedom than what I'm demonstrating now in the last version. So she used to have access to her. I guess they're counting the drives as air movement now, which makes her a little more manageable, because last version, oh my goodness gracious, she is decidedly a rushdown character. She's also a very good neutral character. She does a lot of damage. She can convert into combos very easily. I haven't practiced her yet, so I can't show off stuff. She has a lot of tricks, as you can see. That is one of her many grimy setups that she has. She is a nightmare for almost all the characters in the game. Even when the game was balanced around zoners, she beats zoners. She beats a lot of styles of characters in the game. The main problem with her, the difficulty as a beginner with her, would be combos, because her combos are difficult, and it's difficult to convert. Both of these characters, by the way, are top tier characters, both of them. So if you're looking at these two, if these two are the characters on your mind, you're doing good. Her overdrive is combo filler. It's pretty much Geninjin. I don't know the new stuff, but it's more or less combo filler. You can add about 2k to any combo by doing that. Okay, let's move on. Oh, is that Hollywood Arturo? That's the god himself. Arturo calling me Hollywood, but he's got the 13k Twitter followers. Alright. Oh, I shouldn't do the new characters. Yeah, I should do them. I'll spare you from Tager's shitty theme. Where's Susanoo 2? I got a way to go, Art. I got a way to go. Alright. Hakunen. So this character, I mean, at a glance, this character has always been pretty popular. He has a big sword, big normals. He's not a normal BlazBlue character, and he's never been a normal BlazBlue character. He doesn't have a normal dash. He kind of moves slowly in the air, not exceptionally quickly. And he has a lot of links, which is unusual for a BB. Like, a lot of his buttons are even, slightly minus, or maybe plus. This move is plus. There's a couple of things that are scary about him. First, let's find out what's the input for. There it is. Oh wow, I gotta. Whoops. Let's build up his gauge a little bit. Okay. Let's let him load that. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, he can cut projectiles. he can cut projectiles, which is very good. When he cuts the projectile, a small little circle will show up. a small circle will show up. Some people will call it the void if they're like story mode people, but it's a small circle. It'll come up on the screen, and it has a hitbox. And you can hide behind it, you can do whatever you want. Hakumen also, you can't see it because I have meter set to regen. He's the only character in the game. He's the only character in the game that builds meter automatically. Once you start the round, like here, I reset, right? Actually, I'll even turn this off. Where... hit point, heat gauge. Okay. So, right now, look, here it is. It's just filling up. It's filling up on its own. Here's Tager's meter, still at 0. Hakumen's is filling up. And he builds it pretty quick. So his meter is special. Each of these stars give him access to all his special moves. And he has 8 stars. And while I'm talking, this bar is just filling up. So you can actually play pretty defensively, and your meter will just fill up automatically. Just going, it's just going, it's just going. His special moves, even though they're limited by stars, the nice thing about them is that you can cancel them into each other. So there's Renko, right? So I just canceled 2. And you can just do stuff. And because a lot of his combos are links, he's actually very good at baiting bursts. So you need to... So if you're playing against someone who doesn't have a lot of Hakumen experience, you're going to take a lot of bursts. So you don't even have to try. He does it automatically. Another cool thing about him is, and the main, well, we'll talk about his drive first. His drive is a counter. So if you're picking up Hakumen for the first time, you missed out. You missed out. So they nerfed his drive, his counter a little bit. His counters are blockable now. But they're still pretty good. They still do a lot of damage, and you can combo out of a couple of them. So if you feel like you know, just get that counter out. And of course he has a... What is the input for you? There it is. This red, that's the super counter. It's a super counter. You can also, yes, you can counter bursts, but like I said, you don't really need to counter burst because he just baits bursts automatically most of the time. And of course the thing, so you might have heard this on Tuna's friend stream about how they decided to describe to people who have never played BlazBlue when a match is going to end with Hakumen. That is one of the defining things to why he's good in this game. Air throw, overdrive, Dunzo. If you are planning on playing this character and you drop air throw overdrive combos, you should split. You should split. The nice thing also, well, not the nice, yeah, the nice thing. Not nice for everyone else. Nice for you if you're playing Hakumen. So a lot of your mix-ups, oh, well, you can't get off that. So a lot of your mix-ups that you might get, oh, whoops. Let's set him standing. I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. It's like a pause button too, so you can say do some setup. Oh, that's not the right input. What's the input for it? Oh, there it is. Let's set him crouching. That's what it is. Whoops. Did I jump cancel that? I promise I've seen this before. Something like that. Some kind of way. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to hit confirm into this and do a lot of damage. And it makes it very easy to hit confirm. So his damage potential, he's one of those it's never over till it's over characters. Like, as long as he has a burst, he could win. So you'll also see, if you're deciding to play Hakumen, sit on that burst. Don't burst. It's not worth the burst. You are not that good. You need that burst. His OD, exactly what he does, what it does, it acts... I'm gonna check the wiki to make sure. but it acts like one of his old supers. I think they took away... No, I think he still has Mugen. Oh, so he still has Mugen. Okay, great. So his overdrive increases his meter gain in addition to letting him cancel special cancel D moves. So another thing, I think I gotta set the meter to 0 again for it to send the jump. So he pretty much gets 2 meter just for doing overdrive. And remember that overdrive is also unburstable. Also, just look at his meter one more time. Look at his meter one more time. So he starts at... Look at that shit. Look at it go. Wait. Alright, that's Hakumen for you. The Tiger. See, he is considered one of the stronger, or either top tier or close to top tier, depending on who you talk to. Alright, so this is Tiger. Tiger could theoretically be a really good character. He's a grappler, and he's in Blaze Blue, so this is his sadness. In any other game, I think he'd be super good. His drive is magnetism, so this time it seems like they shortened the magnetism duration, but made the magnetism more extreme. Like the pull-in is way more extreme than any other version prior. He has good combo ability, he has good meter gain, he has a command grab, he has all the standard tools of a grappler. He has a very nice move called Gadget Finger, which I don't know how to activate because I don't play him. That kind of sets up his rock, paper, scissors game. But like any other grappler, and especially in this game, because look at the size of the screen, to be honest. It's 2D. You can't just do it raw. Yeah, you can't just do it raw. He gets zoned. So you need to be very patient. There is a very, very, very strong Tiger player who also plays Street Fighter. His name is KOG, the T-Hawk player. He's a ridiculously strong Tiger, and you'll see him. He plays very slowly, but then once he gets in, he just tears him apart. Yeah, KOG is like a 16 or 17 Dan Tiger. He's good at he always plays grapplers. Whoops. Once you get in, you gotta make the most of your chance. KOG actually plays a bunch of games. He plays Aquapaza. He plays this, SF4, always the grappler. Another nice thing about Tiger is that he has this Spark Bolt. They also gave him an Air Spark Bolt, which I don't know how to do. They gave him an Air 360 now, which it doesn't seem like you could TK. Oh. It's a little hard to TK, I guess. There it is. Do the 67. Yep. Do the air command grab, which is exactly as jank as it looks. Somewhere Ultra David is creaming his pants. Seeing this, just raw. It's not an ultra, you just do it. He's got that anti-air with that jump 2C. So he has stuff. They thought of ways for him to get around, but that he's still kind of, you know, he's a grappler. What can I say? Your goal is to get in with Tiger. His overdrive is just auto magnetism. Just pulls you in, and now you're here. Good for him. Okay, next. Let's go up a little. Let's go to... Oh, no, new characters. No, not yet. I want to cover old characters still. Tsubaki. Trying to get into... Whoops. screwed up. No Susanoo for these two. That stage is cool looking.
Please select your character.
My fault, my fault, my fault.
Rachel Alka.
Alright. Looking at Tsubaki and Rachel. Tsubaki is a kind of interesting character. She's based off of Order Soul in Guilty Gear, but she has a lot of her own little quirks. She's another mid-range fighter. You've seen a lot of those. She's quick on the ground, quick in the air. Basically, her drive is a very, very, very important part of her game plan. Her drive enables her to charge this little gauge, which you can't. Oh, whoops. You can't really see the gauge. It's right here. So the more stock she has, and max it out at 5, the more she could cancel her special moves, her D special moves. Can I change it? There you go. She can cancel her D special moves into each other, and it gives her access to those D special moves, which are much better, technically much better than her normal ones. So you'll see a lot of people full screen, they'll charge in the middle of pressure, they'll use this as a feint. Maybe you have a little respect, you charge a little more. It would have been sweet if they made her CT startup look like her charge, but I guess it's a little too much. Her mix-up is pretty straightforward. She's got the overheads, the lows. She's a straightforward character. Not much to say about her really. But she is really good at keeping people out. She's one of the better anti-airs to improve this move a lot too. This is a 2C. This move was much slower before. And they gave her 2CC on whiff, which is odd. Oh, they gave her all her normals on whiff, which is okay. Okay, they gave her all her normals on whiff now. That's interesting. Her overdrive, let's find out what her overdrive is. Tsubaki Yayoi. She's considered one of the weaker characters, so mostly because she's so reliant on her drive. They also gave her a new move, which I just guessed the input, and I was right. It's command grab. It looks like it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it gives her a lot of stock while she's doing it. It gives her 2, which is good. It's good. Her overdrive automatically gives her charges her drive, if that makes sense. So her overdrive has some use depending on when you decide to use it. But then she's another mid-range character. Another nice thing she has is her DPs are pretty good. And they can cancel to D moves, which makes them safe. Unless the opposing player has a plan for them. So it's fine. She's alright. Okay, Rachel. So Rachel is a very unique character. I've never seen a character like her before I played this game. Her drive is, so you see there's a little gauge above her meter too. This is wind. So this wind bar, basically when you hit D, wind will blow, and she'll move differently. Like everything on the screen will be blown by the wind. But Rachel is affected by it. There should be a gauge for infinite wind. Let's get this gauge. There it is. So using the wind, her projectiles actually, because she has many projectiles. So this pumpkin, just kind of flying around, right? But when you use the wind, it becomes a projectile. Same with this. This projectile kind of just lobs its way out. It's kind of lazy. Well, with wind, you can change how it shoots and where it goes. So she has actually a lot of screen control, but she also takes a lot of awareness, spatial awareness. But if you position yourself properly, it will be very, very difficult for the opponent to move, and you could approach them and rush them down. Her rush down also revolves around the wind, because she has a very, very deadly, very simple but deadly high-low gain, because you can't react to it. This move hits low. High. Whoa. Whoops. There it is. So you can do an instant overhead with jump A. You jump A, you do jump cancelable normal, jump A, and then wind downwards. And you can do a very, very quick overhead that they can't react to. This character is quite good. Difficult to play. Not quite a beginner character. Tsubaki, I could say beginners can play her fine. Rachel, not so much. But if you're willing to put in the work, she'll definitely reward you. She's a good character. These poles right here, by the way, so these poles are set by her projectile. She gets a limit of 3. You can activate them with, they change the input from within there. You can activate them, they'll go off. So if you're shooting them with stuff and they're trying to run in, you can stop them by setting those off. Overall, Rachel is really good. She has really good conversion ability. Very, very, very good conversion ability. So if you're willing to put in a little work, try Rachel. See, now I don't really... Okay, what did I say? She has a move that's a frog. It's another move that she can put out. She uses that for mix-ups. Put this down, put down the frog. And you kind of just... That's not actually how you do it, but you can kind of just stand there and then instant overhead, blah blah blah. High, low. If they block, this is like 8 hits. So you can just do whatever you want. Keep going. Good pick. She's a strong character. Very, very strong character. Definitely one of the stronger characters, in my opinion. Moving on. Alright, Valkenhayn. This is Rachel's butler in the story. So at first glance, he kind of doesn't look special. Like, he's tall, old man. He doesn't have the normal Blaze Blue dash. He has the hop dash. His back dash is pretty good. He jumps. He's old, you know. He's got, you know, moves that everyone else has. But his drive is what sets him apart. So his drive, he turns into a wolf. And his mobility all of a sudden becomes incredible. He's incredibly quick. He can fly around the screen. Let's set his movement to... Next page. Auto. I actually don't know what it's called, but whatever. He can fly quickly around the screen. Quickly around the screen. Quick ground movement. And on top of that, it gives him access to one of the best anti-airs in the game. This is Wolf 5B. You can't jump at this ever. This will always win. Even when it loses, it wins. His movement is on par with Taokaka's as far as mobility, so it's very, very difficult to hit. So even though he can't block in Wolf, mode, you force him back into human, but it doesn't. He's so hard to catch that it doesn't matter for a lot of characters. I believe his overdrive has something to do with Wolf. If I recall correctly. A good thing to remember about Overdrive in general though, a lot of the characters, Overdrive is mostly like a tool to stop your opponents from bursting. Most characters, like you see me like looking up people's overdrives, because most of them aren't that special. Like Valk gets unlimited wolf meter, and it'll regen his wolf meter faster. Like it's not, a couple of characters have like Hakumen. Hakumen is an important overdrive to know. Valk's overdrive is not that special. Hazama's, most of them are either combo filler. In the extreme case, you have Hakumen's, which is ultra combo filler, or they just have something to do with their gauge. So most of them won't be much of a factor. There still will be a factor. Hakumen's, of course, because he just kills you. Anyway, back to Valkenam. I was getting sidetracked. So another amazing thing about Valk, besides his wolf backdash being amazing too, is that he can do instant overheads and lows. So they changed the way his instant overhead and like his mix-up works. So they decided to, he has a ground low, more than one ground low. So he has A and C are both lows, and in the air, A and C are both highs. Of course he could do, of course they let him do, you know, he can land or do another overhead. So he has, just like Rachel, instant overheads and lows, but he also has the ridiculous mobility. He's very difficult to deal with, and he's commonly rated amongst the best characters in the game. Oh, Wolf A isn't a low anymore. Okay, my bad. Extended move. So Wolf C is still low. But this is his low of choice. His Wolf, his jump beam is that high? I'm guessing that's not high then? Oh, okay. Okay, so they only took away Wolf 5A. Regardless, it's still a very, you can't block it on your action, you just have to guess. He's a very, very good character. Now Bang has been all over the place as far as the cast goes. He's been among the best characters and among the worst. He's all over the place. He's a good beginner character. He's quick. He has free movement. He has 2 air dashes. Easy to understand and very good projectile at like low level. Very straightforward. Got your overhead. Got this other overhead that you can't combo off of as without meter or whatever. You have this low. Not low. This is 2B. Like, he has a command grab. Like, his mix-up game is very straightforward. He has a high jump, which some people like, and can move while he's up there. Bang. What can I say about Bang this time? I mean, he's very straightforward. It used to be that his game relied a lot on getting free Kazan. Now his overdrive is free Kazan, so this actually is worth paying attention to because his mix-ups, he has 8-way dash. I guess he can't dash through you anymore. They can do that. Okay, he can't dash through you. Alright. But he gets an 8-way dash, and he can move quite freely in that mode, but it's very limited. It used to be that it lasted the rest of the round. So if someone got free Kazan, you pretty much just said that's the round. I guess they nerfed free Kazan a little bit more if it can't go through you anymore. His drive are these guard point moves that add to this little gauge down here. And once these 4 fill up, he gets an access to a new super. which is a kind of super command grab, but it's not a very good super. It's only good if they don't know how to fight against it. Pretty much, yeah. Right. People saying stuff on the chat about the new super. But Bang is a really easy character to pick up. So if you like him, play him. The new super is like a command grab. Oh. I guess he's like the troll character of the game. Oh, yeah, that's true. He has next to his drive. So yeah, actually has two things you have to look at. He also has a small, like that 12. That's how much nails he has. So that's his projectile. He has 4 types this time. He has this one. This is his D nails, so he shoots 3. His C1 shoots 1, and it's kind of slow, but used at a certain space, it gives him frame advantage, and it also freezes the opponent. People call them web nails. They add hit stun. This B1 is the bomb nail, which looks a lot different this time. It shoots out at a different angle. And A is poison, which drains their life. And moving on.
Please select your character. Clutch the Torin. New 13.
For people complaining about me skipping stuff, it's just, this is for people who are new to the game. So experts who are saying, oh, you didn't talk about this. Like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just doing quick. Like, there's so many characters in the game, I want to get through all of them. And it's about tactics. Kind of. Alright, Platinum. So Platinum's drive revolves around this right here. The items. So these items kind of showed up randomly. As you can see, each time I hit refresh, different item shows up. She has several items, and they all have like varying uses. So her flow kind of varies. It varies a lot depending on what item she has access to. This is the kitty stick. This is also an overhead. It's pretty quick. It's good for punishing stuff. This is a bombs. Exactly what you think they are. They shoot bombs. Hammer breaks guard. It's like another crush trigger. These presents are actually new. You can set these off. They're like a little trap. And this frying pan is a good combo tool and also a very quick overhead. And home run bat, this move is a DP. Very quick. It's also possible to do in the air. So her game, her offensive and defensive options change depending on what item she has. Does she not have fan anymore? I guess they just got rid of fan. I know I saw fan in her super mode. Whatever. She plays a good mid-range game. She's kind of quick, especially with some of her items. Makes her a very good mid-range character. She's got projectiles, sometimes good punishing tools, sometimes the DP, sometimes. She has a new counter move actually, which kind of makes her defense a little better. She has a bunch of, her moves are kind of, I guess they're all kind of a little odd. This hard car will do a lot for you if you're just starting out with her. The main difficulties of playing her, besides the random items, because they affect your combos, is I would say just getting used to the items in general, how they shift her game, and paying attention to what's coming next. A very, very good thing she has in her offense is this Swallow Moon. This is 2-3-16 there. She can kind of move around in it. It gives her safe jumps, instant overheads, really scary mix-up. It is quite good. TK Swallow, TK Swallow, TK Swallow. She has a command grab, which automatically sets an item. So it's a good way to shift through items. Again, item related. She has a super, which is guessing inputs here. There it is. This super upgrades whatever the next item is. So for some items, she gets more of them. Oh, there's missiles. I knew there was something else. Some items you get more of. Most of them you get more of. And they all have a different effect compared to before. Overall, she's a... Well, I guess... I don't know what her overdrive is either. I don't see it used. Fine. She's glowing. Infinite of whatever item she holds. And when using an item in OD, the stock counter does not decrease, so that's the same thing. So you pretty much have infinite items. Unlimited, the level 2 infinite items. So that's pretty good depending on what item you have next. So say, let's skip to, well, I guess DP wouldn't be a good one to use, but having infinite of this, not bad. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. She, in the end, just revolves around her items. She has good rush down. So if you like her, she's simple. Her basics are simple, but getting to a good level with her is kind of difficult. Alright, so next we got V13, new 13. She changed a lot. If you played CT and played her, she changed quite a bit. She's a mode change character now, so she's kind of a combination of two characters. She is part new, 13, the original, and part Lambda, character that was in Continuum Shift. I want to find... Whoops. There it is. Please go to that page. Shit. She, like the other robot, I guess robots, if you want to include Izuyoi, she's quick on the ground. Very quick on the ground. Standard buttons. She shares some buttons with Mew, like this anti-air. She is a zoner. Her D button shoots full screen. Anyone who played CT and skipped out and Continuum Shift will remember her running around hitting D. She still has the buzzsaw. She still has the spikes. Everything that we're familiar with. Missing O-Reds, feints, everything that you are familiar with, except she can now, I don't know the input for this, so I'm gonna guess check the command list. That's fine. Why are they saying overdrive special move? Oops. Is that how you do it? Why are they giving me funky inputs? BBCP circle forward 2-2A. There it is. That's her mode change. So when she changes modes, she still has the same basic, D moves, but she acts more like Lambda. So you end up switching between the two modes while you're playing. This character actually is not that popular, so I don't know enough about her. But our main thing is really good backdash, really fast, really safe combos because a lot of them are from full screen, so they're hard to burst. Her overdrive, what's this overdrive do? Oh. All drive moves summon 2 swords. It doesn't matter what mode you're in, you get access to all special moves, that's not bad. And some other random buffs to her other special moves, so kind of important. I think they consider her like slightly below average or average. I actually don't know how people position her. She's not really popular this time. But if you're looking for like hardcore zoning, like you just want to zone, she's one of the characters you want to pick. Her or Rachel. There is one. I know Yoshiki still plays her. I think someone else. I think there's a Kansai player who's also really good with her. But I don't remember his name offhand. Alright, scoop to the bottom. We're going some rarer characters. Alright, Arakune. So, this is another one of the hated Blazeblue character. People don't like him. He kind of moves very unconventionally around the screen. He has a couple air dashes. He has this weird teleport dash and backdash. But he actually, in the hands of a skilled player, because this character, despite being, in 2 words, I'm sorry, very annoying, in the hands of a skilled player, he can be played quite well. So, you remember this floaty, slow, very unthreatening air dash that you see, that the game shows you, that he actually has a incredibly quick air dash that I'm actually really bad at inputting. I feel bad. There you go. Let me do it off a jump cancel for normal. Oh my god. There you go. I don't know why the game says I'm not air dashing. There we go. So that is actually, if you decide to play him, that's something you have to be able to do. That is probably your test. Your Arakune test. If you could do that air dash. Which you have to do by air dashing and then hitting barrier. And the faster you hit barrier, the quicker he goes down. His game revolves around this little gauge, curse gauge. So once that builds up, right now in this normal mode, he isn't anything special. He isn't anything special. Like he can fly around. He has tools to move around, like this bird move, physical dive. He has air teleports, which that one they changed a lot. That one kind of sucks. And yeah, he has anti-zoning tools. He can make himself invisible. He has a bunch of random stuff. I don't know what the spider move is. He has a move where I'm trying to guess what it is. He has a bunch of very random kind of air to ground teleports. Down down. Spider's down down. Thanks for that. This is anti-zoning move. But nothing substantial. But once he curses you, once your curse gauge gets filled up, let me stop. He shouldn't be blocked. Once his curse gauge fills up, he becomes much more threatening. And then just get hit by that shit. So once the curse gauge fills up, when you let go of buttons, these bugs fly across the screen, and he becomes one of the strongest characters in the game. It kind of drains very quickly this time, which is definitely a con of his. He does have ways to just spend meter and it's not this one, but this one. What's F of G? Oh, that's new. No, it's not. Is this? This? Alright, let's check the supers. Oh, I'm not wrong. Unless it's it's an air super. That's why. Duh. FFG automatically gives him curse for 50 meter. The main thing about him is that how good curses affects how good he is as a character. And this time the curse, if you wanted to play at Arakune, I feel bad because in Extend he was very good. This time they lowered his damage output in curse, so you might have to get into curse more than once around to win, which can be difficult. It won't curse on block. Only that move curses only on hit. It tracks. It's a low. His overdrive. Oh, that's kind of, I guess that's okay. His overdrive, if they're not cursed on block, the opponent gets 50% curse, and on hit they get 100% curse. And if he's in curse, it lasts longer. So it's a pretty important one for him. His main thing is that he's weird. He kind of is very unconventional, but he struggles against zoners, and there's a lot of zoners he has to deal with in this game. So he's difficult to play. This isn't a beginner character, but he has his strengths. Yeah, Carl too. Carl is not a beginner character either. So Carl is, I guess, what you would call a puppet character. His drive activates this doll. You hold D and the doll activates. And when you pull a direction and let go, he does a move. Which takes quite a bit getting used to if you've never played negative edge characters. He has a bunch of small tricks too. Like this is that you may have to learn if you're trying to play seriously. Like the Allegretto cancel, which Carl players just call Alican, which they use to cancel moves. He takes a lot of practice. He's not a very easy character to play. He's also, as far as damage output, it's lower than it used to be, but he still has very good mix-ups. I don't know what does his overdrive do exactly? I'm learning too. I'm learning about overdrives. The recovery of the doll's moves are lessened, and many of her moves gain new properties. She's faster, and meter recovery speed is also increased, and he gets a new super. So he gets a lot of stuff. He gets a lot of stuff. He gets a lot of stuff. Again, neither of these two are beginner characters. I don't really recommend them for new players. If you want to play them, go ahead, but just be prepared to practice a lot. They're both difficult to play characters, and it takes quite a bit to be effective with them. But if you practice and get good with them, then the advantage you have is that people don't really know how to fight these characters, so you'll mow people over.
Please select your character.
Guess I didn't really. All right, new characters. Let's do new arcade characters first. New arcade characters first. So Azrael. This character is pretty popular right now too. Azrael's a big guy, muscles. He moves a little bit untraditionally for a BlazBlue character. His jump is has like a lot of gravity to it, but it's kind of high. But his air dash is floating. It's kind of weird. But he has a lot of good buttons. His dash is a teleport that goes through. This is where Bang's Free comes on dash went, if you guys were wondering. Azrael took it. He does a lot of damage, but there's a requirement first. So his drive is... It doesn't look like anything special. They're just attacks, like a lot of other characters, but his drive attacks add a little point onto the opponent. You see that mark? So next time he gets hit by a drive move, the move has different properties. So once people get hit by Azrael drive moves, he can do really high damage combos. In the scope of this game, like going to like 4,000 and higher. He can also mix you up by tossing you up and doing all sorts of shenanigans. He has very good jump-ins. He's a pretty easy character to play. So and he's quite good too. So I would recommend him for new players if you're looking for someone new. Also, you also have the advantage of no one really knows how to fight against him yet here because he's a new character to BlazBlue. I guess one of the maybe slightly difficult things for him is that he has a lot of links, but BlazBlue has a system that kind of helps out with that. You can hold a button 5 frames in advance, and it'll help out with your links a little bit. There's still room for error, but it makes it a lot easier. His overdrive, 'cause I haven't seen this. So his overdrive gives weak points on block, and they don't disappear over time. And his supers get better, and he does more damage. So it's mostly like combo filler, but it gives him weak points on block. Oh, they changed advanced input. Okay, that's good. 3 frames. Well, still there. He's pretty straightforward and easy to play for the most part, so I recommend him if you're a newer player. Definitely over Kara and Arakune. This jump B move is lovely, by the way, if you're interested in him. This move does a lot. Cross up, hitbox, he's got good anti-air. He also has mix-up, like, the day 1 mix-up in, like, dash through throw, but he can dash through you and mix. Oh, I did the wrong link, that's why. You can jump cancel his dash, so it gives you access to very quick cross-ups. by TKing a move on the side, which doesn't. It's not very hard. Like I've never played him, and I'm able to do it. It's not that difficult. So you can cancel. You can Tiger Knee a special, i.e. canceling his jump start up into a special for really quick cross-ups. Very dirty character. Now Amane is another choice for people who kind of like long-range, defensive, zoning type characters. He's super floaty, but he has very long, very long range buttons and full screen moves that he has access to. So it's mostly going to see. You're mostly going to be trying to avoid getting touched because rushdown is good in this game. So the difficulty of him is his neutral game. His drive is this drill. So on hit, it's like nothing special really, but the crazy thing and your goal with him is like you want to hit them, but the drill does much more damage on block. That's not even like the good one. I don't know how to set it up. Oh, so you can charge it? Okay. His drives do very high damage on chip. The only way to stop the chip damage is by using barrier guard, which would make them vulnerable to crush chips. So he's all about abusing their guard. Like you don't really, he can mix people up, but you want that chip. You want that chip damage, and you want that guard. He is, I would say, he's kind of difficult to play because to be good with him, to get good with him, you need to get good at the two harder things to be good at in fighting games, which is the neutral game and the defensive game, because once someone gets in, once a rushdown character gets in, it's kind of hard for him to get out. So if you can get it over that and get a really solid neutral game, he's got everything. He's got long range moves, he's got all sorts of projectiles, he's got good air movement even though it's floating. He also doesn't have like normal life. Like his life is slightly below average. His overdrive gives him extra hits on his D moves and makes him go to level 3 really quick, which would be good for. Oh, that's hard. I still hear it. I guess I'm supposed to hit B? Yeah, let's try to. There it is. Look at that chip. Look at that delicious chip. Stuff like that is your goal. However, don't forget you can barrier. Alright. Well, actually, I guess I'm gonna do. I skipped Lychee, so I'm gonna do Lychee and Bullet. Alright, Lychee. So this is the character I play. So Lychee is a character that she can do anything. She can do anything. So she has a good neutral game, but she has good rushdown, she has good defensive options, she has good mix-ups, like she has good everything. Her drive at first glance is not really impressive. Like she just puts the stick down. Like she has a stick on her back and she puts it down. And you can send the stick flying. It doesn't really look impressive, but it's one of the best spatial control tools in the game to like either keep people out or let her get in. There's a lot of use for it. Her projectiles, when the stick is down, have all sorts of properties that really help her out. On top of that, she has really good hit conversion into combos, and she's able to put people in the corner, better than almost all the characters in the game. A big chunk of characters in the game. The main difficulties in playing her is that even though she has all these options, nothing is set in stone. Everything is kind of situational, so you need very good spatial awareness. You need to have a lot of knowledge of the game and have a lot of character knowledge of the rest of, like, not just about her, but the rest of the characters, so you can be most effective with all her tools. What else is there to say about her, really? Her overdrive, dice shooting, this is another overdrive that's considered a threat, like an actual threat. Like, maybe people who are like serious players who picked up the game Thursday, unless it's their character, or they just wanted to know all overdrives for some reason, they would know, like, the other overdrives. Like, I've been learning about what the other overdrives do while I'm doing this. But dice shooting is definitely one that everyone knows about because it is a constant threat. It's a very scary tool. It's a good defensive and offensive tool. It changes her Gatling. She free Gatling movement, and she can control this stick. And it changes her sweepers. She can also hold it and release, just like normal, and let it go into some specific direction. Just like her normal motion, the same thing. She can hold it and let it off. I wouldn't call her a beginner character, but I could recommend her to beginners because you can learn everything about fighting games from playing Lychee, because she has a multitude of situational anti-airs, good pressure, good neutral game, good defensive options. Like, she could teach you everything about how to play fighting games, but it's just not easy to get into. So Bullet at a glance, this is a character I'm going to learn at some point. Bullet at a glance, this is another fairly good character for beginners. She's pretty straightforward. So she's another character that kind of mimics Valkenine, Hakumen. Like, she doesn't have a run, she has a hop dash. Her movement in the air is kind of a little slow. She has projectile, this ground projectile. Her main goal, of course, like a bunch of characters like this, is to get in on you, try to mix you up. Her drive is, I don't know what it's called, but this automatically homes in on the opponent, and there's 3 levels of it. The ones that actually matter are level 1 and level 2, which affect us and affect her special moves. Level 3 gives her some bonus that I don't remember. This lock-on, though, varies depending on the level, and you can do stuff like make DPs with. You could punish whiffs. This kind of situation happened to me. Like, I whiffed this move, and a bullet was just here. I whiffed 6 speed, and he just punished me. He just flew in, boom, punished me. She actually does pretty good damage. I know some Japanese players say, like, she can steal a game from you. She can steal a game from you if you let her. So her main weakness is kind of zoning more than anything else. A good thing about, I can get the input here. That's a sweet taunt. There it is. No? It's not down, down, D. Oh, it's all light G. Where's my sister? So this, no. Should be here somewhere. Of course, I'll go back to you. So this is how she levels up. And when she levels up, she moves faster, which is good. It becomes easier for her to move around, which is very, 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 very good. Her main weakness is zoners, though, so it depends. Like she's not. Her basic game plan is like not difficult, but if you don't like playing against zoners, then she's not a character for you. Her drive, by the way, you can do it on the ground too. Like it's not just the air. You can do it on the ground. Ground, air, and there's different versions. Like on the ground, you can do an overhead. You can do a low. Like she has different things, different options you can do off it. She's straightforward, easy to play. Her D, I'm not sure about the level 0 D, but I know the higher level Ds are safe on block. So when she does overdrive, oh yeah, her overdrive is actually kind of useful because she gains a heat level right away. I forgot about this. She gains a heat level right away, so it's really good for converting. And of course she gets like the overdrive super. And when she leaves the overdrive, she keeps the heat, so that's good. So it's mainly, it's kind of like a mini Hakumen. Like add damage, do a lot of damage. Instant buff.
Please select your character. Violet. Yuki Terumi.
Okay, Izuyoi. This character I think looks really cool, but her play, so she actually has two modes. There's a mode where she has this little Morgan dash, and she has like her normal like on the ground stuff. So most of her sweet mix-ups come in this mode. She could teleport, but she kind of is the same as Tsubaki too. Like you have to gain stars, so that's where her weakness comes in. Like you can't do a lot of stuff with her without her special gauge. Special gauge right here. This gives her access to a bunch of stuff. She's also very execution heavy, oddly enough. She's kind of difficult to play, and she's considered one of the weaker characters, but her mix-up is on point. Like, she has very difficult to block mix-ups, teleports, etc. But you have to charge. This is just mode switch. Where's the charge? Why? Oh shit! I'm screaming. I'm gonna scream Inception right now.